Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I'm going to be bringing to you another best of 3 from MLG Providence 2011. This is going to be a best of 3 that was played in the open winners bracket. And this was another game that was not cast on any of the streams, so no matter which of the amazing, I think 4 streams that they had playing StarCraft during MLG Providence, I don't think this aired on any of them at all, so this is never ever before seen by anyone else. Super excited to be casting this match because we have 2 absolutely fantastic players here. Spawning in the bottom left position of Shakuras Plateau as the purple Zerg. Playing from Team Liquid, we have Sheth. His opponent today spawning in the bottom right position as the Teal Terran. Playing from Team Check6 Gaming, we have Windy, otherwise known as MajOr. Now, I'll probably kind of flip-flop back and forth between calling him MajOr and Windy throughout this cast because I will be calling him Windy anytime I reference this location up here for his name, and then anytime I actually just think of the player, then I'll say MajOr because that's the name that I kind of know him by, despite him having like 30 different aliases. The guy has so many screen names, it's ridiculous how many screen names this guy has. Now, Sheth is going to be sending an Overlord directly to his opponent's base, and he's going to be getting a good scout in here, I think, as the good thing Sheth is going to want to be able to do is, as this Overlord gets here, the moment he spots an SCV or some trace of MajOr, he's going to want to pull that back right away so that he doesn't reveal the location. But oh my goodness, look at this scouting by Windy. He actually knows the timing of that Overlord arriving and checks before he goes to scout to see if there's an Overlord there. And now that he knows that that Overlord is there, he knows exactly where Sheth is spawned. Likewise, Sheth also knows where his opponent has spawned as he's sending that drone right to that location, having seen that SCV with this Overlord. Sheth has gone for a very fast hatchery. Looks like it was a 15 hatch, 15 pool from Sheth, and it looks like he's going to be a little bit later. This is always a safe move, especially on Shakuras Plateau, just because it's really hard for a Terran to deny a fast hatchery. A 14 hatch is almost actually impossible for a Terran to deny. A 14 hatch is actually like really hard to deny, but it looks like Windy is going to be trying to deny this hatchery going down right now as he is throwing down that bunker. One Marine is just now leaving Windy's base. Will it be able to get there in time? I think Sheth is actually going to be able to react to this accordingly. There we go. He's now pulling 6 drones, it looks like, to come deal with this bunker. One drone is already out here starting to work on that SCV. More drones now coming down. I love this move here from Sheth. He's pulling some of his drones to deal damage to this bunker, and he's sending the other 4 drones out here to push any Marines back. He doesn't want these Marines getting anywhere near the bunker, so that even if this bunker finishes, as it has, he's going to be able to deny that Marine from getting into it. And as we can see, there's a good surround. Oh, but it looks like Windy is just going to be salvaging that bunker, and despite there being 1 Marine in here, this SCV is just way too low for him to risk trying to build another bunker, so he is just going to be forced to hightail it out of there, although, I don't know, he's got a couple of Marines there that are continuing to move towards his base, and oh, looks like a couple of Lings are now out, and it looks like a bit of a misrally there from Windy. Looks like that Marine is most likely going to go down, and the SCV gets taken down by some drones there, and yes, indeed, that Marine goes down for Windy. Now, in the base of Windy, he does have 1 gas up and mining. The factory is now up. The reactor is now down as well. So we are going to have double Hellion production here from Windy. So it looks like he's going to be trying to get very aggressive. This is a very common thing for MajOr to do. MajOr, aka Windy, that is. He is like probably one of the most aggressive Terrans I've ever seen in my entire life. Every time I watch MajOr play, he is super crazy, super full-on aggression, and he tries to just deal so much damage and apply so much pressure, and then he just waits for his opponent to mess up, and the moment his opponent messes up under all that pressure, he just comes in full speed, attacks, does a lot of damage, and really punishes any small screw-ups. Now, it looks like this one Overlord did just pop in, see that refinery. Did he actually see that factory? Yes, he did actually see that factory. He knows that the factory is up, saw the reactor, so he knows the double Hellions are going to be on the way, and he's throwing down 1 Spine Crawler in a forward position here, and it looks like he's going to be sending a Queen in a forward position as well to try to deny those Hellions from getting too far up the ramp without taking some damage, and it looks like that 1 Spine Crawler is going to, for now, deter Windy from doing any damage with those 2 Hellions. In the base of Sheth right now, we do have Zergling speed that is just now going to be wrapping up. He's mining on that one gas geyser. No other gas geysers have been thrown down right now. Still getting a lot of drones. 8 drones on the way right now for Sheth. His drone count is going to be jumping so high. Yeah, there we go. 38 harvesters to the 24 of Windy, but Windy is producing a lot of Hellions right now, and he's even actually producing a couple of Marauders. It's a little bit of metagaming here going on by Windy, because what he's thinking is that if he starts harassing with these Hellions, his opponent is going to be getting up spines, and his opponent is going to be getting up roaches most likely. So far, no Roach Warren is up yet. We do see an Evolution Chamber going down, but a very common Zerg response is to throw up a Roach Warren. Oh, and there goes the Roach Warren right now from Sheth. So it looks like Sheth is actually going to be going for those Roaches, and by getting up these early Hellions, then Windy is actually going to be preparing to be able to deal with those Roaches quite well, because Hellions, of course, do not deal with Roaches well at all. Ooh, a little bit of lag going on there. Also, I apologize for that, but now we do have forces moving out from Windy. Looks like so far we do have 6 Hellions on the map, a few Marauders moving out, and Sheth did send some Zerglings into his opponent's main, and he did actually scout those Marauders, so he knows the Marauders are coming. And oh my goodness, is Sheth actually going to cut off the Marauders? Yes, he did. He's actually cut off the Marauders with these Zerglings. Now the Hellions now going to be forced to pull back to come deal with these Zerglings, but they are going to be able to pick off all 3 Marauders. Beautiful play there by LiquidSheth, and Sheth now going to be poking into the natural expansion. There are a bunch of SCVs here that don't have anywhere to go, nowhere to escape, and they are getting picked off quite a bit. Those Zerglings going to try to run up the ramp, but oh my goodness, going down so fast to those Hellions. So far, Sheth did manage to get 4 worker kills off there, so he lost a lot of Lings there, but I don't know, 4 worker kills, I'd say that was about an even trade for those 2 players. Sheth now throwing down 3 more gas geysers to bring him up to that total of 4 gas geysers. He's now well saturated at both his main and his natural on minerals. Just needs to transfer a few drones into that gas once those gas geysers are up. We do currently see 3 roaches on the way, as well as 6 Zerglings. We also see +1 Zerg Carapace coming up as well for Sheth, so it looks like that is going to be, I think that's always a smart play. Anytime you play ZVT, you almost always want to start with ground Carapace, because it allows your Zerglings to take 2 shots from a siege tank as opposed to just 1 without that Carapace upgrade. And ooh, Windy actually getting a nice scan off and picking off a couple of creep tumors there. That has got to be really, really annoying. Sheth going to be moving these spine crawlers down to a lower position right now. He has Overlords in position to scout both bases and to keep a constant worker count on his opponent. Not as critical in this matchup as it is in ZVZ. In ZVZ, you always want to know exactly how many workers your opponent is creating. So having an Overlord at the back of the base, keeping an eye on that worker count, absolutely critical. Not so much here, though, in ZVT, but it is a good indicator. Definitely being able to poke in and see whether these Vespene geysers are mining is a big, big, big deal. Now, it looks like Sheth going to be going for a little bit of a counterattack here as he's moving in, but these Marines are, wow, holy cow, those Marines with Stim do quite a bit of damage. Those don't even have any upgrades on them at all, and Sheth now trying to get a little bit of scouting information, moving in with this 1 Overlord, gonna be able to see all those barracks going down, gonna see those reactors going down as well, so he knows that his opponent is gonna be going for that standard Marine, Siege Tank, and Medevac style of play. And I would imagine it's going to be a very aggressive style at that. I'm trying to keep an eye on this minimap, because I can bet, I would put money on it that we are about to see a lot of drop play here from Windy. Now, there is 1 Hellion up in the 4th for Sheth. Looks like Sheth might have tried to expand there, but Windy tried to deny that with the Hellion, and so Sheth was forced to make that extractor. Will he cancel it, or will he let that finish? We will find out in just a moment. Ooh, looks like Sheth is deciding to get aggressive as he's moving out with a lot of roaches right now, starting to move towards his opponent's base, and there is not a ton out here right now. I'm actually, oh no, we actually have a drop. I knew Windy had more units than I was seeing right there, and yes, indeed, we do now have a drop coming in. Roaches are now moving to the front of the natural expansion. Glial Reconstitution is about to finish up for Sheth here. Infestation Pit has been thrown down, and no, Sheth has no forces here to be able to defend this. So many drones are going down right now to this big drop. In the meantime, Sheth is trying to push in at the front. SCVs have been pulled off the line to try to deal with these roaches, and Sheth trying to decide how exactly he wants to deal with this drop, having a little bit of indecision there, baiting some units out there as he picks them all off, and he's going to be going in once again to try to deal some damage here. But this drop is doing so much damage, and he might actually get the lair here. He's focusing down the lair. The lair does indeed go down, and Sheth not going to be in the best of position right now, losing that lair, and Windy is just going to load up right now and pull back. Trying to focus down these medevacs with those queens, but not doing too much damage there. In the meantime, these roaches trying to poke in, deal as much damage as possible, but that bunker getting mass repaired is doing so well against these roaches right now, and Windy actually holding this off quite well. But now, of course, Sheth is only going to be mining off of 2 bases. He's transferring all of his workers to that 3rd base, and he's now just starting to take his 4th, as well as he throws down another hatchery in the main. He's going to be needing to start his lair tech again very soon. So far, no lair tech yet coming down for Sheth. Going to need that up right away. He, of course, does have his tech up, which is very nice for Sheth. That is about the best position you can be in, as his infestation pit is already down. But oh no, looks like we have another drop coming down for Windy here, as he's dropping a bunch of Marines all around the place. And ooh, Sheth actually taking a bit of an accidental pot shot there at his own hatchery. In the meantime, couple of roaches going to be scouting that 3rd expansion. Very smart play here by Sheth. You want to know that if your opponent is being aggressive, that is the best time for your opponent to start expanding all over the map. And as we can see, Sheth trying to cover all his bases right now, and Windy actually unloading this drop up here without Sheth's knowledge. Is Sheth actually going to be able to pull back, or will he be forced to cancel this hatchery? This hatchery is about to finish, and it is now, of course, finished. So will Sheth actually be able to deal with this in time? Windy now moving forward with a lot of Marines, lots of Marauders, and oh no, these medevacs actually kind of moving a little bit out of place, and oh no, the drones! Sheth trying to transfer some of these drones, so many being picked off right now, as now Sheth going to be pulling back, finishing off the rest of these Marine Marauders. A little bit of miscontrol there from Windy, as he has all of his medevacs kind of out of position there. I'm actually kind of curious as to know how they didn't stay in that control group with those other units. And oh, will he actually get that medevac out of there? It is only at 6 hit points, and it looks like it is going to escape. In the meantime, Sheth going to be going for a bit of a counterattack here, because this 3rd has been placed down by Windy, and there is a siege tank on the high ground. This is actually a very, very well-placed siege tank there, but oh no! That siege tank actually doing quite a bit of damage to his own SCVs. So far on the workers killed count, we can see that Windy's actually killed a lot more workers. 16 workers to the 8 harvesters killed of Sheth, and now the Marine count is starting to get very, very high. The food count currently favoring Sheth a little bit, but it looks like Windy is going to be going for another drop in the main. Here it comes right now. There's only a couple of roaches here to be able to deal with this right now, and they are going to be focusing down, gee, I can't tell what they're focusing down right now. I don't think they're focusing down anything at all right now, but they are now going to be focusing down those roaches, taking them down one by one. Now he's going to start to focus down this hatchery. Maybe might try to get that gas geyser. A lot of damage being dealt here right now, and Sheth not quite dealing with this the best way possible. There we go. Beautiful fungal growth going down on all of those Marines, and it looks like Sheth is going to now be able to clean that up. Oh, don't lose that infestor, Sheth. You definitely do not want to lose that infestor. Oh no, Sheth pulling back the drones, and more drones are going down right now to these Marines. Another fungal growth going down on those Marines, but man, Marines with medevac support are just so good. Look at that one Marine surviving for so very long, and Sheth trying, oh no, another drop is actually going down in the 4th base as well. So Sheth is being pulled every which way right now. Another drop now going down in the 3rd as well. So these drops are doing massive amounts of damage. 25 workers killed so far for Windy. If we check out the harvester count right now, we can see that Windy is currently up, and of course he is a Terran on 3 base, and he is being relentless with these drops. Drops going down all over the place. Looks like another drop is about to go down in the main base of Sheth as he starts to attack this 4th base. Actually, Sheth is going to be trying to take another base there as well, and here comes another medevac loaded up with units. In the meantime, are we going to see this unit attacking? Windy is getting ready to move those units in, and oh no, he's focusing down the Queen. The Queen does go down. The gas geyser goes down, and he's now going to be focusing down that evolution chamber. And will that upgrade finish? Yeah, it looks like that upgrade is going to finish, as he's now focusing down this hatchery. In the meantime, he's stimming in more forces from this northern position, but Sheth did actually manage to spot this, sent some of his lings and roaches there to deal with it. I really like that from Sheth, that he split up his army. That is the mark of a true professional gamer, is the fact that they can split up their army, or not, I guess not necessarily a professional gamer, but some of those at least masters level players know how to split up their armies to be able to deal with drops a little bit better. But man, Windy is just dropping left and right, and he's just pulling Sheth every which way, and Sheth has no opportunity right now to be aggressive. Looks like Windy is going to be trying to take an expansion here, but it looks like these workers are going to go down, and yeah, those roaches are now going to be cleaned up here by Windy, as his Marine Marauder count plus the siege tank is getting very, very high, and Sheth is really just not mining on that many bases right now. He's still mining at his natural, got a little bit of mining going on at his main, but he's not fully saturated by any means. Also not quite fully saturated at his third either. Fourth going down once again, but now Windy's moving forward with the big attack. He is now ahead in food count, 190 food to the 180 of Sheth, and he's now going to be sieging up in this mid-ground. Oh, Sheth having a little bit of indecision there as to whether he wants to try to engage before those siege tanks get up, deciding that he wants to pull back and wait for the next time his opponent is going to be going for it. And ooh, it looks like he did actually spot this drop that's going down once again in the fourth, split off some of his roaches here to deal with it, and he's going to be able to deal with that quite well. No other drops going on right now. I almost thought for a second that I saw a drop going down, but it turned out to just be a mineral patch, and now Sheth is getting very, very high in infestor count. I think it is all going to come down to the infestor control in this next battle. If he can get off a lot of good fungal growths on these Marines, and he can actually do quite a bit of damage to the forces of Windy. There goes one fungal growth, manages to pick off a lot of those Marine Marauders without losing, or those Marines rather, without losing too many forces of his own. The Roach Ling count is very high here for Sheth. Another drop going down in the main right now. It's Windy is just going to be pulling Sheth's forces every which way once again, has all the Lings now storming in right now to deal with this drop. And actually, yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to clean up, but Windy is going to be using this opportunity to push forward lots of Marines at the front. Looks like this drop is going to get cleaned up as the fungal growths go down on that medevac, and that medevac is actually going to get away, but Windy taking advantage of the fact that Sheth's entire army is up here in the main, and he's now going to be stimming into the third base right now. A drop actually going on in the back of the third as well, and Windy is just dropping like a beast right now. Oh my god, every which way I look, there are drops going on all over the map, and Sheth is just being slowly picked apart by Windy. Such amazing play here by Windy. Oh no, beautiful fungal growth there by Sheth as he manages to catch all those medevacs in those fungal growths, and they are all gonna go down. But man, if we check out that harvester count, Sheth is still so far behind. Fungal growth's going down on everything. Infested Terran Marines going down all around all of these siege tanks. Looks like the Marines are going to get cleaned up here, but the siege tank count is still very, very high. These siege tanks are currently 1-0 in upgrades. The Marine Marauder count, there we go, the engagement from Sheth as he is able to actually clean everything up. Unbelievable. I did not actually think that he would be able to clean that up, but he did. No other drops actually going on right now. Constantly checking for those drops. Ghosts are now out on the field here for Windy, and he's now just trying to snipe off as many of those infestors as he can. Sheth now being forced to pull back, but again, Windy is so far ahead in the economy, and the macro of Windy is just so good. Every time he loses an army, he's just got another one raring to go right now, and Sheth right now is currently 1-2 in upgrades, currently has that +1 ranged attack as well as that +2 Zerg ground carapace as well, but now looks like Sheth being forced to pull back, and Windy just continuing to macro up so fast. His economy is so much better right now. 150 food to the 118 of Sheth right now. He's in such a fantastic position. All his Marine Marauders are currently 2-1 in upgrades, currently getting that +3 infantry weapons as well. Greater Spire on the way here for Sheth somewhere. I don't know where the heck Sheth Spire is. There it is. Spire coming down right now for Sheth. Going to be trying to tech to that Broodlord soon, but I don't know if he has the economy right now to be able to support it. He's just not mining that much. His main base is almost getting mined out. He's mining on his third and his fourth still, but notice that he's not at all fully saturated on either base. Not mining gas out of these two gas geysers, and oh, he does actually have full saturation there on those two gas geysers, but Windy deciding to get a little bit aggressive right now, and look at the macro from Windy, currently sitting at 180 food to the 127 of Sheth, and he's now going to be pushing forward with this small group of Marine Marauder. We actually have another drop going down in the fourth base once again, and in the main, denying more and more mining from Sheth. This is so hard to deal with for Sheth. He's trying to do everything he can to be able to deal with this, not pulling the drones off the line. More and more drones going down all over the place. 55 workers killed right now for MajOr. MajOr is doing so amazingly well with this draw play, and he is just picking Sheth apart. It is absolutely ridiculous right now. And look at this army from Windy, now just going to be pushing right up the middle, sieging up his siege tanks in this location as he stims forward with small groups of Marine Marauder to scout his opponent's position and maybe even try to do a little bit of damage. Not going to be able to deal too much right now, but at this point, Windy is really able to sacrifice a lot of units, and oh no, Sheth losing a few units kind of carelessly. Wasn't expecting his opponent to be down in this this lower location and was stuck on a move command there and lost a few investors needlessly. There is another drop that is being prepared right now by Windy. He's got that drop always ready to go down, and a huge drop now going down for Windy in the main as Sheth moves out, and Sheth does not have a whole lot of an army. I think he's really going to need to pull back or just go for it, and I think at this point Sheth is just going to go for it right now. He knows he's so far out of position by the time he gets back to be able to deal with this drop. So much damage will have been done. Fungal Growth's going down on everything. Will it be enough to break the lines? No, it looks like Sheth is going to GG out of game 1, and MajOr takes game 1. Unbelievable play there by MajOr. Unbelievable drop play. That is the most aggressive drop play I've ever seen. And yeah, that is definitely going to get Windy game 1. Will it get him games 2 and or 3? We will find out in just a moment. Stick around for game 2 of LiquidSheth versus Check6's Windy coming up in just a moment.